I'm Brent, the middleman, known as Brent Middleman on Twitter. We're excited to be here representing Hoopball on this new live, pregame and primetime postgame shows that we're going to be doing for you, hopefully daily as we ramp up here on the YouTube channel. So make sure you like and subscribe to the video so you don't miss any. Click that notification bell so you get updated whenever we come live on the air. Adam, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm pretty good. Enjoying my weekend over here. And yeah, as we mentioned, it was going to be a pretty quiet show. But then half an hour ago, 40 minutes ago, we got a tweet from Shams saying that Boogie is on the move. We don't know where he's going or when he's going. But yeah, I think we're going to touch on that here. And I mean, we might as well lead off with that unless you've got other plans.
Yeah, no, that sounds good to me. I mean, just like pretty much anyone in Texas these days, he wants to get the hell out. So, other than Joe Rogan. So, yeah, it looks like the Rockets have decided to go young, go small, whatever it is. I think mostly go young, and there's just not really room for Boogie on a rebuilding team. And I think it's good for him. They're giving him time to latch on to a contender, which is most likely where he's going to end up. When I first saw the news, my initial thought was, "Oh, Boogie's going back to the Lakers, where he spent a year coming back." I know him and Harden have some beef, so I don't know if the Nets are a possibility. Toronto's out there looking for a center right now. They're rumored to be a player in the Andre Drummond sweepstakes. But Boogie could be a cheap option for a lot of teams. I mean, the Warriors are there as a possibility. They've had some center problems, although I read that Wiseman and Looney might be back as early as Tuesday, but they still don't have Marquise Chris. They're still really undersized on that team, so there may be a dark horse candidate. Adam, any thoughts on Boogie, where he might end up, if he's got any gas left in the tank from a fantasy perspective? What do you think?
Yeah, look, I think we've seen that he doesn't have a whole heap of gas left, and he's even in with Wood out, he's really only been topping out at about 25 minutes. I think he had one game where he played more than 30, but other than that, he hasn't been great. And yeah, look, so I was on the blurb shift this morning, and as soon as that tweet came out from Shams, I think there were beat writers from every team almost tweeting out saying, "Bring Boogie to insert team name." So the Hornets, there was a few Hornets guys there saying we could do with a center. I think Miami are another team. And I guess it depends on whether he wants to go to a contender or whether he wants to play. I would probably lean towards him wanting to go to a contender, just because, I mean, he'd have to know within himself that he's not a starting center anymore on a long-term basis. So, but there was something just sort of came out then. I'm just reading it now that he's expected to start on Monday against the Bulls. So I guess while they have come to this agreement that he's on the way out, it may
They're going to wait for Wood to
come
back.
Yeah. So it could be another week or so before we actually get any information. But yeah, so look, I think all those teams you mentioned would be interesting. So we'll just really have to wait and see. I'm sure there are going to be plenty of updates coming and rumors and all sorts of things flying around. So as I mentioned in his blurb, if you are holding him, if you picked him up when Wood went down, you just have to hold on to him here and wait and see what happens.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. And I think even if he goes to a team for playing time, he's really only got 20, 25 minutes in him on a nightly basis, even if he's on a team that's not any good. And I think most of the contending teams, he could probably still get 20 minutes a night on a few of those teams that we mentioned. Charlotte's an interesting one because we don't normally put the words Charlotte and contender in the same sentence, but this season they actually have been playing really well. They have a really nice young core of players that have been playing great. They have an all-star caliber player in Gordon Hayward and Terry Rozier, arguably is right up there too. I think, he could be a nice, veteran presence on that team, alternating time with Zeller. Zeller is not the center that will be starting on any team that's going to be contending for anything. No. So Charlotte certainly needs to upgrade. PJ Washington's shown that he's not really ready to play center yet in the NBA, I don't think. So that's an interesting fit for Cousins there, because I think he could get the combination of being on a contender and playing time with a team like the Hornets.
Yeah, no, look, it's going to be, as you said, Zeller. I mean, he's fine, but he isn't a difference maker. So, yeah, maybe Charlotte do. And as you said, they've surprised a lot of people. And I'm still, I mean, I don't know if you would have them as a contender yet, but if Boogie sees himself as having another couple of years left in him, then who's to say next year or the year after Charlotte aren't in a position where they are looking at contending? I mean, yeah, it seems like it's a really fun place to play at the moment with LaMelo Ball there, and everyone seems to be gelling really well. So yeah, look, maybe, but as I said, we wait and see. But I guess the question, I mean, looking at the questions here and stuff we've seen on Twitter and in Discord and that sort of thing is what is the fallout in Houston now that Boogie is gone? And I think we were sort of preempting this and saying, well, what are they going to look like for this week or two without Cousins or Wood? And it looks like they're probably going to have Cousins until Wood is back. So that's not going to happen. Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, which players are you sort of targeting once the dust settles here and Cousins is gone and Wood is back? Who have you got your eye on there?
Yeah, well, when Wood originally went down, I picked up Jayshawn Tate in a bunch of leagues. I'm a big fan of his. I think he's going to be the main, beneficiary of this extra time there, especially with Oladipo kind of being in and out of the lineup. They're probably, the way Houston's going, it looks like Oladipo will probably get some rest and have it taken easy on him for the rest of the season. So I think Tate's going to get big minutes going forward.